Coach Morrison. Appreciate you guys coming out. I know there's a lot of these going on right now. So a little background, my school, we're a 3 high school district. We're one of the biggest schools in the state. So in Ohio, that means we're Division I. We typically are in the playoffs. Every once in a while we make some runs. Sometimes, we lose that first round. That's happened the last 2 years. I've been the offensive coordinator for about 10 years now. I've been the head coach and offensive coordinator for the last 2. So I don't really know where everyone's at with this. I know this really got promoted inside one of the no huddle tempo things. So I actually kind of outsmarted myself this past season, and I went away from doing this stuff. And it was one of the dumbest things I ever did, and I really regret it. And so this year we're actually going to reignite it, kind of go back to the one-word simplicity stuff. So as I'm going through this, some of the film is from a little bit older. It's not from this past season, so just for full transparency there, because I decided to go against it, and I was wrong, and I'm going back to it. So, all right, I'll get through this here. Okay, you guys should be looking at this PowerPoint here. Here's all my contact information. Feel free to email me, tweet me, call me, text me, whatever you want. I'm going to talk a little bit more generic tonight, but if you want any more specific information, I don't exactly want that thrown out, everything we do, but you can get a good picture of what it is. So again, I don't know where everyone's at. So before you get on board with this stuff, one good question to ask is the entire staff on board. I'm pretty blessed that, when we do this stuff, like we're going fast, and you have to understand that sometimes when you go really, really fast, you're going to have a 3 and out, and 11 seconds going to run off the clock, and you got to make sure your defensive coordinator isn't bad-mouthing you behind your back. I'm pretty fortunate. My defensive coordinator is actually a guy that came up to me after this season. He said, "What the hell are you doing? Why aren't we going fast anymore?" So, it's kind of good, because also how you practice is going to be a little bit different. Other things, think about number 2, do you have the depth to do it? Because, you are literally trying to run the other team to death. Do you got the dudes that can run? Okay, and if you got a lot of guys playing both ways, or you don't have a ton of depth, this may not be the right style for you, but maybe you can use it sparingly or situationally. And then, are you willing to practice / live it? So, for instance, and I'll show you guys when I click back on here, we adopted the philosophy, fast, don't lie. It was some slogan the kids come up with. They freaking love it. Our track team actually stole it from us. So we got t-shirts that say fast, don't lie. And we talk about we're going to be the fastest team because we're running around all over the place. It's like organized chaos. And it became our identity. It became what we did. And if we weren't doing it, our kids kind of freak out and they think, oh no, what's happening? So as far as practice goes, we do a perfect play segment. We start every single day with perfect plays, and we have a 5-minute segment. There's 2 huddles, and we're going to run as many plays as we can. Those 5 minutes, our goal is to hit about 25 full plays. Okay, so when we're doing this pace stuff, if we don't hit our 25 plays, then we're either moving slow, or I'm calling plays too slow, or the plays are too long, or whatever. But we start every practice with that, and we set the pace, right? This is how we're going to do it. So then you got to decide, how do you want to use this? For us, we've had years where we have lived it, right? We were there. And, we were die hard. We are coming at you nonstop all the time. This past year, like I said, I kind of outsmarted myself. We decided to use it situationally, right? So what we would do is after a big play, we would use these things. And I'll just be honest with you, the effectiveness of them kind of went away a little bit. And then another thing is, do you want to use it kind of as a change up or a package, right? We've had some success doing that in the past where, we light it up and we go into what we call pace plays, all right, because we're setting the pace that no one else can keep up with. And then, sometimes we'll go normal, and then sometimes we even huddle. We actually oddly added a huddle pace, and it was great for us. Now, by a huddle pace, I mean we would huddle, and then we'd sprint to a line, snap the ball within 4 seconds of breaking the huddle. So even though we huddled, we were still like in that fast mode, okay? All right, so here's a screen of the season I'm going to kind of talk about with you guys here. So this is our goal, right? So when we're doing this, we want to be the first team to score. So our mindset is we are taking the ball, okay? So in this season, we took the ball or tried to take the ball. In fact, the good thing is most teams want to defer to the second half. So if you want to take the ball, normally whether you win the coin toss or not, you're getting the football here. So I posted these here. Our goal was to score within a minute. So, we're 12-minute quarters. So you can see, I mean, this was our opening drive. Another one of our goals as an offense is we score on the opening drive of every half. Okay, so you can see, week 1, it took us, 9:06 left, then 10:57, 11:02, 11:38, 10:16, 10:19, 11:10. So those are all the games. So 7 times, 7 out of 10, we scored on our first possession. And we take pride in this. Like, we take pictures of these scoreboards just like I have here. And like when the kids come in on Saturday or whenever we're watching film, like we show this to them, and it's kind of a point of pride, right? And it becomes a challenge in ourselves. Like, hey, what can we do? What can we do? And that's what we think about like all week. How do we set that pace from the get? So what do you want to include in this play, or why might you do it? So the reasons we do it is some sort of complex play or formation name. So I got an example for you. Like in our regular offense, tight east trips bunch, inside zone left read rain, right? That would be a play for us. It's a lot easier for us to just come out and say, dog or bird or, whatever word you want to come up with. We always go R and L words. And I'll talk a little bit more about that later. Or trick plays. So we run a lot of trick plays because we're moving so fast that we want to be able to say it really quickly. So ying, right, slot, empty, wide jet, outside zone, right, pass, back, pit is one of the plays I'll show you. It's a lot easier. That play for us was called Geronimo, right? So we just signal Geronimo, and our kids line up instantly, ball snap before anyone can do it. Anything about it. So the other thing is, if you are going to do these pace plays, you have to protect them, right? So when you have these pace plays, it's going to diminish your playbook a little bit, but you have to protect those plays. So for us, when we run pace plays, we're going as fast as possible, which means our cadence is going to be on the quick. Now, something that we've learned as we've added motion to our pace plays, like literally our quarterback, I'm just going to use the dummy word 1, okay? So if our quarterback gets a signal and he starts saying 1, 1, 1, 1, 1, okay, we used to just walk up and say, hit, and we would go. Well, the problem is when you add motion into it, oftentimes the defense yells motion. Well, when they say motion, your center sometimes will twitch, or your O-line twitches, or someone, right? So now you have a false start, and that's the last thing you want to do is lose 5 yards on this. So we actually went to a rhythmic cadence this year, okay? So for our quarterback, if we give the 1, everyone on our team sees the signal. But they see it, and when they see one of our pace plays signaled, I mean, it's like our hair's on fire. I mean, we are flying. We are running as fast as we can to snap that ball. And so instead, our quarterback sees it. He's going to reaffirm it, make sure everyone sees it. So 1, 1, 1, 1, 1. And then he's going to get in his rhythmic cadence, all right? And we go color, number, set, hit pretty quickly, right? So now he can set it, and he says, red 50 set, hit, and the ball snaps. So it's still quick, but it gives the center a little bit of a chunk of time to actually listen, right, and find his voice. But you also protect it with a freeze, right? So you have, you signal freeze instead of 1, but your quarterback's yelling 1, 1, 1, 1, 1. You sprint to the line, and he says, red 50 set, hit, and you get guys jumping off sides all the time. Next thing, be able to do some different formations out of it. So add a little formation tag to your play, and I'll go through all these, and then have a motion, have a trick play that goes off of it, and then have some sort of go concept, okay? All right, so let me go through this. I just use the generic word one. So for us, we might use, you know, hurricane and cyclone, or fast cars, Porsche, Lexus, Lamborghini, leopard, cheetah, right? All these words, wherever you want. Okay, I'm just using one as my place filler here because I don't want you guys to know exactly what we're calling out. So this is one of our base RPO plays, our base pace plays. I think most people run this play. Okay, so there's nothing special here, but when you run it at pace, it solves a lot of problems for you, right? So when our quarterback walks up, the first thing he's going to look at, do I have free access to this X? And you got to teach the quarterback, it's got to be fast. Do I have free access? So literally he's going to glance. If there is some sort of jersey that he doesn't like in this vicinity, the hitch is off, right? Now I look over to the bubble side and I count 1, 2, throw the ball. If I get to 1, 2, 3, I don't throw the ball. Or I have a press man, I don't throw the ball, right? So glance, count to 3. I don't like it. Now I'm in my red 50 set hit, okay? And as I'm snapping the ball, I'm reading this defensive end. And as we're running our inside zone there, if the end crashes, the quarterback pulls and runs, or he throws, right? So this is a pretty basic play. I think most RPO teams play it. Now, why do you do it with pace? Why do you do it with one word? Well, number one, instead of calling this, for us, it would be right trips, inside zone, left, rain, gift. Instead, I say 1-1-1. Right? And that's it. I have one signal, one word call, whatever, and everyone knows and we're moving. The other thing is when I move fast, there will be lots of misalignment here. Lots of misalignment to trips, I can't even tell you how many just free bursts of play yardage we've got. The other thing is blocking inside zone with current defenses can be really hard. Right? Because teams want to stunt, they want to, you know, set a 4-eye here, they want, you know, do all kinds of weird stuff. You minimize that, and we try to go as fast as possible, and our inside zone is super simple. We are literally covered, uncovered, run. Right? So I have a covered step, I have an uncovered step, and I just run and run and run. Okay. All right. So let's talk about some of those things that you need to add. So if this was play one, that was your signal. What we would also do is we would add some formation tags to it. So for us, we would say bunch one, right? Bunch one. Quarterback has the same rules, right? Nothing changes. Glance, 1, 2, 3, snap the ball, red 50 set hit. Ball snapped, okay? It's the exact same play. We just changed it a little bit, okay? All right, next thing we might do is we might add stack one, right? Stack one. That's pretty simple, okay? All right, same thing. Glance, 1, 2, 3, snap the ball. Obviously, you can get real tricky out here. You can do whatever you want. I've seen some teams like doing the 1, 2, 3 stack. There's all kinds of stuff, okay? All right, another example, for us, if we call tight one. Now we would just send this tight end in. Now we're losing the glance, but maybe they're not giving us this glance hitch anyways, right? They're never giving us free access. So now what we've done is we've added an extra gap. And those teams that want to play the 4-eye now, that's really popular, stop inside zone. Well, if you want to run this 4-eye, okay, now are you going to walk up a 9? Are you going to leave them in a ghost? Are you going to bump them to a 5, right? We again, just create some different situations. Now, some of you might say, I don't have a tight end. I will tell you, in fact, he is on this call right now. Micah Lowe used to play for us, and he's one of the best wideouts we've ever had. Sweet hands, and when we used to line him up at tight end, we were running so fast, it literally became about confusion and shielding people, right? You don't have to be a great tight end. We're not getting you in there and asking you to block power and all that type of stuff. We're literally saying, don't let anyone cross your face and tackle the H. All right, so next thing we'll do is we would add some motion to this. So take your bubble guy, stick him in your backfield, and add motion. So for us now, all right, quarterback lines up. He's going to look. Do I have a glance? Do I have a glance? Yes or no? I take it. If not, now I'm going to send the motion. Now, this one's a little bit different in that you're going to want to take a peek over here, right? And let's say there's one guy. Well, when I motion, do they screw down? Do they roll down? If not, throw them the ball right now. If they don't, or if someone rolls over, you don't like it, red 50 set hit, ball snapped, and we have our triple option, okay?
What if it's an under, coach?
What do you mean under? Under
Go
front?
back one. Yeah, what? No. With your, you call it your S. Instead of coming in front, no, go ahead. One more. Sorry. Yeah, right there. With your S, what if he comes under in an orbit, Rico, whatever?
Oh, yeah, you can obviously do whatever motion. I'm just giving you examples of what we do. We like this motion better. We've had success with that. I know a lot of people like the motion here. That's fine. Another one we'll do, we'll line them up in doubles, and we call it sip motion, right? So this time, same deal. Okay. And again, that longer cadence allows him to, not get caught, because as soon as you start motioning, guys, that defense is going to start yelling motion, right? And yelling checks. And you want to make sure your O-line can find his voice in the chaos. Okay. All right. So now you got to be able to add some trickery to it, right? Because you have to protect this play. Okay, you have to protect it. We all protect our favorite plays so that we're able to keep running them and have the defense kind of question, well, we know they do this, but they also do this off of it, right? So when we start getting teams that are like hardcore rolling down to this bubble, we'll do a little stock and go, and we'll actually do a double pass. Right? So we'll pass it to his S. Obviously, you got to coach him up, get a super deep course on the bubble, toss him the ball, and then the Y stays in, and then we hit there. Obviously, you could do some other cool stuff off of this. The biggest thing is this is the first one that you have to communicate to your O-line, because you don't want them running downfield on inside zone. Everything else we've done, the O-line has no idea. So we have a signal that goes in with one, okay? And I'm not going to tell you what it is, but it's a color for us, right? So if they see a color signal plus one, all right, so whatever one is, whatever you want, RL word, okay, color plus one, that tells the O-line, I'm going to run my zone course, and if I am on this backside, I'm going to lock on, just so there's no free release, okay? So if he had someone on his backside short, he would lock on as well, and they know they now cannot go downfield. Another one is a go off of it. Okay, so we have a lot of teams that, they'll start flying in on this, or they'll start jumping this guy, okay, because you hit this hitch enough times. And that's something you got to be prepared for, is tell your quarterback it's okay if you throw a hitch 7 times in a row. That's okay. You can do it, because the reality of it is most teams are going to line up in their base defense, and they're going to sit because you're moving so fast. So when you move that fast, you're going to get the same throws probably over and over and over again pre-snap. Now, post-snap is a different story, because what happens, teams start to get frustrated and they begin to overcompensate. So that's where our goes come in, right? Like this Rover, Hawk, whatever you want to call him, he's flying to this bubble. He's been fighting with this Y 3 plays in a row. You add that go tag. So again, now the lineman's getting our color code, right? If we got single coverage over here, there's a good chance we're going to pump and fake, hitch and go. If we don't like it, they have someone in the window and someone over top, then we're going to go over here, and all that becomes is a flood concept, right? So our quarterback is going to pump the bubble, and then we read it high to low. So it's going to be a good shoulder pump, and then it's 1, 2, 3 working down, okay?
Against cover 3 or against cover 2, do you flood the zone with that with him running a bubble, or do you run him with running a 5-yard flat? Yes, sir, right there.
No, because we want to look exactly at their pace play. And that's something, whether or not you're doing this stuff or not, as an offensive coordinator, one thing that I check every game is, does a bubble change? Do they treat bubble like a play or like a route? So what I mean by that, some teams, bubble is a play, and we're all rallying to it. Some of them, they see bubble and they get in pass drops because they're expecting this stuff, right? If they're a pass drop team, throw the bubble over and over again. If they're a team that it's a play, then that's when you're going to do your stutter go, or when you just call flood that night, run a bubble because this dude's going to fly in there and make that window way easier, okay? All right, I'm going to get to some film now so you guys can kind of see this in action. Okay, and what I tried to do, because, I think we've all sat through some of these calls before, these Zoom clinics, and sometimes it feels like people are just blowing smoke and they're taking their highlights and all that type of stuff. All right, so see this blue team here. This is legit. They're a good team. If you want to look them up, it's Hilliard Bradley. I mean, they're really good. We're pretty good. So what I did is I pulled up their game, and I'm going to pull all clips from their game. These are all one-word pace calls. Okay. Now, at the end of my presentation is a little bit different. So I'm not going to show you like all the ones that we do, but you'll see all like the whole series that we brought into this game. Okay. For reference, we scored like 69 points in this game. They scored like 48. It was just a shootout, just boom, 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 boom. Like 3 minutes into the game, I think it was 21-19 or something like that. Okay. And so anyways, we're going to roll through these. Okay. So this one, all right, for us, this is another RPO or another pace play we have. So you can see at tight end, that kid that's on the conference call, he's playing tight end right there. So what we have here is we have an outside zone, we have a stick, and we have a bubble, and we have a block for the bubble. So with this one, obviously we have nothing out here, but this team was a 4-4 team most of the time. So they always had a guy in the window anyways. So we were just wasting our hitch route, and we knew this corner didn't want to tackle. So we were going to make him try to tackle. Okay. So we got outside zone. All right. Quarterback should give a little bit better fake there. Okay. Our slot, you can see, gets kind of hung up there. You can see because we're reading this linebacker right here, we have the tackle blocked out. There you go. Not a great play. All right. Not a great play, but at least you get to see it. All right. So same concept, same team, different drive. There you go. Right. Now, again, we're calling these super fast as we can. Right there, stealing. Okay, because remember, we've already run the outside zone out of this look, and they've probably heard us give our indicator, right? They've heard us say 1, 1, 1, 1, 1. And so now they're going to jump up there. This linebacker has been playing that backside pursuit, and then here we go. All right, here it is again. Okay, like I said, we're simple. We scored 60-some points this game, guys. All right, there you go. He didn't like it for whatever reason. I think it's because they started lining up this outside linebacker on his inside shade to discourage it. He takes it, get vertical. That's a good outside zone run. We'll take that, okay? Now, again, this dude right here is a little tiny receiver. And we basically told him someone's going to line up on head up the outside shoulder on you. And we just want you to go fight. Go fight as hard as you can. And, you can see he does it. And he got a flag. Come on, Micah. All right, so here we go. This is just an alignment throw, right? So they started cheating this guy over. Take that bubble all night long. There you go. Oh, sorry. Didn't mean to put that clip in there. All right, so again, same team. So here's another one we had. So, the other ones might be 1-2. This one might be 3-4. So, yeah, we always have it two ways, right? So it's 1-2 or, Porsche and Lexus or Ferrari and Lamborghini, whatever. Okay, so with this one, we were not a big empty team, but we put in some empty pace plays. So we put our H out here. So instead of us running outside zone with this one, we're just throwing a bubble to this guy out here. Okay, so we still have the same stick concept up here. We have the bubble, or sorry, I was wrong on that one. Sorry, we have the stick concept up there. This tailback is supposed to be running a bubble. And then we have a draw concept on the inside. Okay, see the O-line's running a draw. Draws are great. I know, like us, we have a six-man officiating crew system now. So when we do that, they get guys going downfield all the time. Okay, so anything where the guy is pulling is a lot better. All right, again, same team, same concept. This time we get the bubble, or this time he decides to run. There you go. Not a great play, but again, we got some efficiency. There you go. We have an alignment bubble. All right, here's another one we did, double tight, and we put a bunch out there. So it was quarterback zone or throw a bubble. Okay, it's double tight with bunch trips out there. That's an interesting formation. I probably would have thrown the bubble. But for some reason, he counted, he liked it, and he's a dude. All right, here it is again. I think this was actually the next play or maybe two plays later because we saw it. We communicated to him, all right, throw the bubble. Maybe this is why he didn't throw the bubble earlier. Okay, here's another one we did. All right, real simple. Okay, now we're going to stack them on the outside, and we're going to run zone, read, quicks. Too much dancing, just go get vertical. All right. I won't play that one. All right. And then here's another one where we go tight bunch, full zone. All right. My huddle's acting up on me. Okay. And then the last reason why we use these, let me scroll down here, is when we do our trick plays. Okay, so here's an example of a trick play we had that was off of a pace play for us, okay? So we had run this formation. We had run that. My huddle is getting all crazy. Okay, I got a bunch of trick plays on there. I'm not sure why. My laptop's getting all choppy here. But anyways, if anyone's interested in seeing the rest of those, I'm more than happy to send that out to you guys.
How do you call the plays to the field, coach?
So I'm on the field because I'm the head coach in the offensive coordinator. So can you guys still hear me?
Yeah.
Okay, sorry. My laptop's going all crazy here. So for me, I literally just say whatever our pace term is. Okay, so I just say forward, and our signalers start signaling forward. We are all hand signals. And normally what happens is as soon as one guy on the field sees forward, because we create this like attitude around this thing that in practice, like you see one of these pace plays, you go crazy. Right, you get there. So one kid normally sees forward and he starts screaming it. Okay, and it sounds really weird. It's still effective though because you have those other things that protect it. Right. So.
Yeah. All right.
Coach, I got a question for you that came in. How fast are you calling these plays? So if you got a 30-second play clock, what are you trying to do in the first 3, 5, 10 seconds? Is it just call it as fast as you want to, or what is your team's thought process when you yell out the call number?
As fast as humanly possible. Like when we're in this mode, I mean, our team, like, they know it. And if we're not calling it, we literally have guys stay on a sideline with their hands up. Like, right, that's just the mentality that we've created on our team. Now we will freeze. So if we give a freeze tag, like we'll sprint up and we'll do it. And then we can actually call a pace play off of our freeze. Okay. And we'll completely, excuse me, we'll completely run up, freeze the cadence, and then we'll reset. And we do it so fast that on our 40-second clock, we have time to do that.
Coach Tursal just asked if you had issues with referees. I've had issues all the time running the wing T. He wasn't set. Oh no, he came upfield. Oh no, he turned upfield. Do you have issues in not my offense wing T, but your offense? With your offense, do you have issues with the referees on that? With Coach Tursal, Coach Mike, with his question, do you have issues with the refs, or how do you address that pre-game, during the game?
Yeah, so I tell the officials ahead of time, like, hey, we're going to be flying in Ohio this year. We started the system where the ball and the clock, right, are basically set almost immediately. So we actually are moving faster now. And some officials keep up and they love it. Some of the officials are like warning our center, like, don't snap it. And there used to be the rule that, like, you couldn't put your hand on the ball, because that's a big point of emphasis with us, is the center should be sprinting and putting his hand on the ball, because until your hand's on the ball, you are not a threat to snap the ball and go. I saw that about some old officials. In Ohio, they're doing their best to get rid of the old officials. I will say our league, I play in the OCC. It's one of the biggest leagues in the state, so we get pretty good officials. So our dudes are normally, young and running, and, we really don't have problems with it.
Coach, I know before I moved down to Georgia and started coaching, I was an official up in Missouri, and I know one of our big things was we went to all the coaches before the games to find out, hey, do you have are you running an up pace offense or not? That way we could get prepared. Are they not doing that where you are, or?
Oh, yes. So in our league, the officials actually have a mandatory meeting with all of their head coaches. So when they meet with us, we just explain it to them. We really don't with it. I mean, if you guys do, I guess you just have to train your quarterback to be the one because he's the one that's saying go. So you just have to train him and maybe slow him down a pace, or even if you have to, I know, like, we do this when we try to kill the clock, is we have a coach basically is like sitting there, and until the sun goes up, you don't snap it. So if you've got a young or inexperienced quarterback that you need to, kind of give that, okay, green light, go type of thing, that's how I'd approach it. And since I brought it up before and then I switched the screen, like, there's one of our T-shirts, right? Fast don't lie. And our kids love it.
Hey, Coach. Question for you on to play that fast. What all goes into your game planning of your call sheet? I'm sure you have to have a couple if-thens on there about which ones you want to go to play that fast. I know my mind doesn't work that fast. If I'm on the left hash, if I'm on the right hash, if they're giving me cover 2, cover 3, can you go into a little bit about how you put together your call sheet to make sure that you can play at the tempo you want to play at?
Yeah, so when I build our call sheet, like, I probably have half my sheet that looks just like everyone else's, right? Because we don't do this every play, but we do it enough that we scare teams, right? So the big thing is, like, I talk through some of those if-then statements, right? So half my page looks like a normal call sheet, right? And then the other half is devoted to our pace plays. And so what happens is, normally on the pace plays, like, I have a guy up in the box that essentially is playing quarterback during the pace play, right? So he is looking and he's just saying hitch, 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 right? And if I don't see the hitch thrown, then there's an issue, and we indicate, hey, we need to make sure we tell the quarterback, or as that quarterback's looking at us for a next symbol, you know, we're saying I our hitch, I our hitch. And then if he goes to a bubble, he'll start yelling bubble, 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 right? And if the bubble's not thrown, same thing, right? I the rain, I the rain. So, and then they tell me if we throw the bubble, who's making the tackle, right? So why missed his block? Okay, that happens. If they say the Mike or the Will or someone else that shouldn't be over there is making the tackle, then we never should have thrown that, right? So now that's something you got to talk to your quarterback about. And then the other thing is, you know, I'm on the field, so I typically stand really far back. So I am trying to stand on the side of the defense so that I can see secondary rotation and movement, because safeties are the ones that are really going to give you trouble, right? Because those safeties are the guys that are kind of unaccounted for a lot of times in this stuff. So when they start flying down, that's when you do the go. The other thing we do is we just have a pretty extensive like play action series off of these plays. So, you know, like the one I drew up for you, which was like inside zone with the bubble, right? Well, we'll go ride inside zone, quarterback pulls, and then we'll run basically your snag concept. But instead of running a shoot or an arrow, we do it with a bubble, right? So now as he's riding, he's looking at the corner, right? Corner route. Did the corner drive down? Did the safety drive up? If he did, it's an easy toss to the corner route. If he stays deep, did that linebacker flow out to the bubble? If he did, then I'm going to sit on there. And in all honesty, our playbook is so simplified that I probably don't even need that call sheet. It's just more of a reminder of all the pace plays that we have,